Hey guys, I'm Bruce and this is
Kenzie.
Let's Go. So, we're a bunch of college kids and we've been wondering, how was college without church?
Yeah, let's talk about that today.
I mean, it's been a while. Right now, it's been a couple of months and it's been a really fruitful time coming back to church. But honestly, was college doable without church?
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to the first year. Right when we got into campus, everything was new, as a lot of college students do. They get out of their homes, especially in this country where you almost always go to college away from your parents. So it's a new experience. You get getting to know new people.
Yeah, I was homesick for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, same. I mean, it was a culture shock for me because I moved in from a different state.
Exactly, I come from a conservative place, and I didn't know a lot of partying, etc.
Yeah, for me, I come from a family who has been Christian all my life, and I have also been brought up in the entire doctrine. But I personally let go of God as I came into college. So my first entire year was just experiencing stuff that I thought I would never do. As a Christian, I thought I would never get into those things. But let's talk about them. Partying, and drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. So Bruce, you tell me, what did you come into college thinking you needed to do?
So, okay, a little background. So, I was this kid. I didn't know a lot of stuff. I just came in with an open mind. My parents, they worked really hard to send me to college. So, I wanted to get my GPA up. I wanted a good job. I wanted to publish a lot of research papers. I wanted to get into really good colleges for my masters, etc. And that was my whole intention. And I was really scared, to be honest. And I was this workaholic freak who just go studying and working. I was learning how to code. I was learning how to build websites. I was trying to learn how to build apps, etc.
Yeah.
And I was trying to score in. I remember math was kind of hard back then in first year.
Oh, yeah,
it scared the hell out of me.
And for me, chemistry, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Oh, my gosh. So this was just me. Then I joined in some sort of club where we would build aeroplanes, remote control airplanes, and they were really realistic.
Yeah.
And that was the most, that was the point where a lot of discipline came in. I mean, I grew up in a family where discipline was the most intense and important thing. But after coming here, it's like 5:30 every morning, just show up at the workshop, start working, start learning, etc. And the thing was, it was also on Sundays. And I thought all of this would actually add up to my resume and give me a huge boost. And so I was just caught up in the cycle for the first 2 years of my college. What about you?
Yeah, Bruce, same. I mean, I can relate with what you said, especially about being a workaholic. I came from a family of engineers and teachers.
Oh, wow.
And my cousins are all doctors as well. So I'm honestly the eldest engineer in my family. Everyone else is a successful doctor. So I joined college. My first entire year was just building connections, building networks. It's good stuff, right? You have to build a connection. You have to start getting projects on your resume. I started a startup in my second year. I joined a bunch of coding clubs, and so I was doing all of these things, right? And the end goal is money, right? We are doing this for a return on investment because our parents have put in so much money in this. So, okay, I'm gonna work all the time. I'm gonna get a lot of money, and that was happening. I was getting these gigs. I was doing some freelancing work. We won hackathons. We got money from there, and then so the money started to come in. So I realized, as somebody who never really was given access to money as a kid, because I never got as people say, pocket money. I would just ask my parents for money and they would give it to me. But now that I had my own income, or like my own allowance, so what do I do with this money? That's when things started to go a little wrong in hindsight. So I'm gonna now move on to what people started spending their money on. What most college students, and what you probably also feel that you have done with your money is so I started to party. I started to buy booze, started to get into these things, but the work was still going on at the same time. So
wow, that was a good balance.
Yeah, the balance was there, and I was trying to make a balance of just party life and work life, and everything was going great. In fact, it was so good that my startup ended up going to Seattle for free.
Oh, wow.
Because Microsoft, they invited us. And so I was there and everything's going great. And we were partying in the US for the first time and everything was great. But I was, standing there in that room and, all buzzed and everything. And I'm just thinking to myself, so this is it. This is it, right? I'm in the headquarters of the most expensive or the biggest company in the world. But why do I still feel that void in my heart? Like, why do I still
What kind of void?
It's like there's something missing. You're trying to fill it up with all of these things.
I feel you.
With money and with stuff like that. And that's what we were taught, right? We were like, oh, you need to work hard. You need to get a job. You need to, and then you'll enjoy. And then after you get a job, and now I got all the things. I have a great job. I have a great education, and I'm enjoying. But am I really? So then I started to come back, and then I started to try and look into other things. And you tell me also.
That's interesting.
What did you feel?
So that was your moment of realization.
Yeah, in Seattle, standing there, surrounded by wealth and surrounded by fame and everything. But I'm just like, so that's it? This is what true happiness is? I don't think so.
So even my dad's a pastor. So church was an obligation for me. So by the time I was in second year, I started a startup as well, and I was getting amazing clients. So we got approximately 30 plus clients in the first 6 months, but things were getting delayed. The app, it was getting delayed. We had a lot of issues with it. And in the meantime as well, I learned web dev and app dev. So I was freelancing. I was making a bit of money. But I never spent it on drugs and booze. But instead, I didn't know how to manage my time. I found church to be more of a obligation and time killer thing, the youth meetings, etc. I kind of found it to be boring. But after my second year, this is where things started going downhill. My startup shut down, and we couldn't deliver the app on time. And I didn't know what to do because I invested the first 2.5 years of my life in building the startup to the core. And now I have less GPA. I don't know a lot of stuff. I lost so much time. I don't know what to do with my future. And I was really depressed. And I was so depressed, I was crying. And I didn't know what to do. And that's when I reached out to God. And I started reading my Bible. I started attending church. I started engaging myself. I started, building this one-to-one connection with God.
Yeah.
And then suddenly one day I got a job offer and turned out to be the highest in my college.
Wow.
And that was a whole different thing for me, because I never worked for it. I was not qualified because I had a really bad low GPA. And I was really scared about all of these, but suddenly now all my sorrows suddenly turned into joy. And that was my moment of realization that I had to tithe my time. And that's when it was more of a return of investment sort of thing that I thought. But the more I, engaged in, I realized that it's not just a it's not give and ask thing, but I found peace.
Yes.
I found comfort. And the more I do it, the more happier I am. I'm not depressed, I'm not stressed, I don't have anger issues, etc. So, yeah, that was a whole different new thing. What about you? How was life after church?
Yeah, so when I joined the church and when, there were a lot of things that led up to this moment, which we'll go into the future. But when I joined the church, I feel like the one thing that changed was, what is your goal? Like all of us have, we all thought, you should have a goal, or you should have
an ambition,
a meaning in life. So what is the meaning of life? Up until this point, the meaning of life was to get that next client, or to get that higher pay, or to get that bonus salary. So that changed. It went from I need to get more and I'm not good enough to I trust in what God is giving me. And I, instead of looking to the future in wanting and in need and I need more and I need more, I'm just grateful now for what I've gotten. And if things don't happen, like as you said, your job wasn't, your startup didn't work out, and a lot of these pitfalls were put in your path.
Yeah.
I don't look at them as problems anymore. I look at them as learnings.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's
right.
actually.
Because God has put those in our path for us to learn something from it. Because He's putting us through a journey. It's all about His plan, and we have to now wait for His plan. And if you have patience, and if you have the trust in God that He will give you what you deserve, not what you want, but you deserve. When you get into Christ, your wants will then slowly align with His plan.
Yeah.
But as long as you trust His plan, it's all going to work out.
So then, here comes to the ending of the video. But so why is the church important? I think I have an answer for that. The church is important because you meet a lot of like-minded people. It's not just a place where you have a lot of worshippers who are very religious. It's mixed with all sorts of people who lost their way and found their way back. And you can share experiences. You can start building a community. You can start, learning from each other. You get to worship in one accord. It's really important, to be with fellow like-minded people who strengthen you and who encourage.
Yeah, it gives you meaning, because for the first time in your life, you're not just working for yourself. You won't die in a deathbed thinking, did I make the world a better place, or did I just accumulate wealth? And who's that wealth going to? My spoiled kid? Like, no. Now I know that I've given back to my community, and that's what the church gives us.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't realize that we as humans, we need that community. And in this generation, we have kind of lost that. So the church brings that back into us, where now we can relate with others. Now we can share those deep experiences that we couldn't share to anybody because they were not cool, or, you got to man up, bro. You can't cry. But in the church, if I cry, I know people that they're going to be there for me. And that
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we learned today.
That's amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, and we'll be sharing more about our experiences. And join our community. We're going to have all the description and info about it in the bio. See you guys.
See ya. Peace.